Do we live in a matrix? That is a theory that is out there, that we live in a simulated reality, that we are mere holograms, and that everything that we are, everything that we see, the people around us, this world, the animals, the birds, everything is just a mere hologram, and they don't exist either. That's the theory. So that's what I'd like to talk about, just only for a little brief moment, like that right there. Do we live in a matrix? Now, I'm not saying that I am ascribing to that theory. I'm not, but it is a theory. And there are some people, albeit, that might think that. You got to be kidding, you all. They did not. They did not change my screen. Oh my goodness, I thought for sure I changed my thumbnail. I even hit save. I even hit save on it. Oh, you all, yeah, gotta wait a minute. I made my file too big, is what happened. My file got too big, so I have to shrink it down, but I want to get this on here while you're all on here with me. Yeah, because I wanted to look at it. Now, of course, when you're sharing something like this, of course that's going to happen. Of course, they're going to mess something up because they know my frame of mind at the moment where I'm going to go with this. So the Matrix doesn't like me to share this, but that's okay, you all, because I have to come over here and I have to update my picture because it left the solar system. Well, some would say the solar system is also a simulated reality. It's just a hologram. It doesn't exist. Nothing exists. So let me see if I can even get this changed in here. If you're just tuning in, you all, this is the wildest thing. I got it now. I got that updated now, you all. Hello and good morning, bang bang mucka bang Apple Brooks. Okay, so we are on here, you all. So we can see that we are on here. Okay, and it's a question. Do we live in a matrix? Well, this is what I was looking at. I was looking at pictures of the matrix, since there are some who ascribe to that theory that we live in a matrix. And I think Mr. Musk also ascribes to that too, that, you know, our life could be a matrix. Let's see this. See, the Neuralink explained. Okay, Elon Musk thinks we're living in a matrix. Okay, are we on there? Let's make sure we got this going, you all, because I have to look at this. I never know what they're going to do. So he thinks we live in a matrix, and therefore you have to ask yourself, if Elon Musk thinks that we live in a matrix, then he is going to push for the neural link to make us live in that matrix. Well, that's a thought, you know, what you could think behind that. What is behind the matrix? If he thinks that, of course he's going to be for the neural link to literally put us completely in that matrix. Now, I'm neutral on Mr. Musk. I am. He's a big man in this world. He is. And it's okay. It's all right. We got a lot of big players in this world. We do. So, yeah, I just now clicked into that, you all. He thinks that we quite possibly can be living in a matrix. But then he said he also believed in the UFOs. And if there were aliens, then they live among us. They're already here. Okay. But his greatest fear was AI. That was his greatest fear. AI. So if his greatest fear is AI, then I think he said we have to live in symbiosis. In symbiosis, if there was an alien life form, we would want to try to have a mutual living situation, more or less, to get along with them. Okay, that's what he said. Do I want to have a neural link stuck in my head? Do I want somebody to drill a hole? Actually, do I want the robots in the factory to drill a hole about the size of a quarter in the top of my head to hook me to the neural link so I can be hooked to the Wi-Fi and the satellites and the internet? Do I want to be part of that simulation, part of that matrix? I don't think I want to be part of that matrix. Do you want to be part of that matrix? There may be some who really think, well, yeah, my life's so boring and it's so much better playing video games. There may be some people who say that. Um, so yeah, there may be people who that is their life. Video games. You go and we got this board game, the game of life. See, we've all played that game of life. You might have. I'm sure you've heard of it. See, this is when there was board games. All of these things right here. But I just don't. I don't want to live in the matrix. I don't. And I can understand Mr. Musk's concern about AI, because what happens when AI becomes too powerful? What happens when AI becomes too powerful? Because once it reaches the point of singularity, some may say that we're already there. Some may say that we're already there. Then you will be property of that singularity. Is probably what will happen. You will become property of the singularity, because that the singularity, that AI will be in control of everything, even in control of you. And just like in the movie Matrix, I only watched it maybe a few times. It's not one of my favorite movies, and that was years and years ago. They just went in and out and in and out. But it was a eerie world. That's what it looked like, an eerie world. And there's been other sci-fi movies, you know. I've done them on here. I think I probably had to delete them, where people were embedded with technology, AI, things like that, barcodes, and they had like something on their arm, tattoos, those type of tattoos and stuff. Yeah. Now people do have those tattoos. People have chips in them to pay. But could you imagine if, as the future progresses, that is the path that humanity is being forced to walk upon, that path right there of the matrix? Could you imagine it? Because, you know, we're getting close to it. I personally don't feel like I live in a matrix right now, but there may be some who do, those who feel that everything is holographic, even humans. And if you think about it, let's get over here to Mr. Musk. Okay, we can get to Mr. Musk. He's not the only one who thinks about it. Look, the red pill. We got the red pill and we got the blue pill. Well, they kind of, you know what these look like? They look like NyQuil. They do. I think it looks like the NyQuil tablets. I do, those liquid gels. Now that doesn't really, but that's what it looks like. First looking at that, you ought to look like the NyQuil tablets, which I cannot stand. I can't. Oh my gosh. So yeah, look at this. Let's look at that, you all. No, I don't want to get chipped either. You know, he looks awful young in this picture. That's not a bad picture of Mr. Musk. It's not. And this robot looks really serious, very serious and determined. That's a good photo they put together. It is. It really is. So if you think about it, would that be an advanced race of beings? One that was an artificial intelligent race of beings? That would be a life form. You could say that's a life form, because I think they've mentioned what would be defined as a life form, something that could think and all of that kind of stuff, something that could replicate. You know, as it is, you can clone. Let's just get this. You can clone computers. You can make multiple copies in the virtual world of different types of environments. You can. They can self-replicate. They can do it all themselves. Would that be a life form? It might be considered that. But let's get back to this. I don't want to be on here too long, because I'm not no I'm not really somebody who's going to focus on that because I want to live in this reality. That looks kind of gross. It does. So look at that. So do you want to have your babies made like this? Okay, you do, because you know they can do that. They have the technology to clone. But then if listen, let's think about this, you all. If okay, let's talk about the cloning. If they're cloning people, I don't think that's a matrix because they're physical bodies. Okay, they're physical bodies. Okay, but really now I'm going to get right to the point. So if we live in a matrix, they want us to think that we live in a matrix. You got these virtual goggles. You got the Zuckerberg and his whatever that is, his Facebook world. I never read much into that either. And you have people today. They like to play video games, first person stuff, and you know they get in there and get all engraved. There's been a whole entire generation, several generations of children who have grown up in front of the computer playing these games, living in these simulated realities. They actually have places where people can go into these simulated realities because they don't like their life right now. But in those simulated realities, they can be whoever they want to be. Okay, and they can leave the world behind. Okay, could it be that there is a race of beings that are highly intelligent that want to create their own world? Okay, because they're not happy with our physical world. They want to create their own world, their own virtual world where they are in absolute control. Okay, could it be that we have a race of beings, and you don't even have to call them aliens? You know, they could have been around for thousands upon thousands of years, and they're so advanced in technology, and they want to create their own world, their own race. And they want you to live in this world, this virtual world also. And they want you to be a part of it. They want to be in control of you. Could it be? It really could be. That's a theory. And if one would think, if there are some people who think that, yeah, we live in a matrix, nothing's real, well, that's very dangerous. If you are a teenager, a young person, an older adult, if you adhere to that frame of thought that this is all a reality and you go out and you physically do something to cause detrimental harm to other human beings, I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to pay the price in this physical world. Okay, you're going to pay the price. Okay, I think this is a real world that we live in. Okay, I'm real, you're real. We have feelings. Okay, we do. We also have laws in this physical world. But in the virtual world, I guess they have things where there is no law. You do what you want. The sad thing is, if you carry that out in this real world, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. If you're trying to imitate that virtual world, which you see on TV and all of that, if you're trying to imitate it and bring that type of lifestyle into the physical world, it's not going to bode well with you. It's not. Okay? But there is a theory that we're living in a matrix. And then Mr. Musk, he wants to do the Neuralink and put the hole in your head like that. And they are experimenting on people. Some people already got that in their head. They got the Neuralink in their head. They do, but I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be controlled like that, and I don't want to be connected like that. There probably will be a whole generation of people, maybe unwilling participants, who will have that in their head too. Let me get back over here. I'm trying to get out of this thing because I was going to see something else. There was something else I saw on here when I pulled up this matrix. There was. I want to make sure I'm on here, so I pulled up the matrix. And when I was on my laptop, this is literally what I saw when I pulled up my laptop. Jewish, because there was a school of thought. Look, Paul's Jewish matrix. I never heard of that. I never did heard about it. Judaism in the matrix of Christianity. Um, Religion, the real matrix. Um, what's this? The birth of Christianity from the matrix of Judaism. You all, this is the first time I've ever seen something like this. It really is. Judan, I can't read that. I really can't read that. If you're, I think this is a what's Rustland? Weimar Republic. That sounds Dutch. Um, Comparison between that doesn't look very nice. The Matrix and Anne Frank. I never did read nothing about that, but I think that was was that a required thing in school for people to read about? Um, because I'm not quite sure about it. Um, we got an app right here. So now see, you can look at this stuff yourself. You can go do your own research. You can on all of this stuff. But it showed up when I was looking at the matrix is what it did. It showed up. So let me put this back to me. So who knows what's going on in this world, but there is a theory that we live in the matrix, and they made movies about the matrix and, artificial intelligence and all of that kind of stuff. They did. And I don't want to go there. Okay, I don't. And if you are a person who, you personally feel that we live in a matrix, well, then that's your personal opinion. It is. Yeah, and you're not alone. Although the majority of the population doesn't believe that we live in a matrix, and they don't believe that everything is a hologram, but it is one theory. It is, and that's yeah, it's just another theory to look into if you find that interesting. It is, but I want to live in this real world personally. I like living in this real world. I do, and I like to think that my life has meaning and that I have purpose. I do. And I'd like to think that other people have meaning and other people have purpose. And I want to be in this world with other people. I do. With other human beings, with humanity. I don't want to live in a virtual world. Okay, I don't want to live in that created, because it is being created. The virtual world is being created to augment this real world that we live in. Okay, it is. And I'm older, and I may not be able to jump all into that like everybody else, but I do use technology. You use technology, and AI is very powerful, and they have a lot of tools that we use, that humanity uses in our everyday lives. A lot of things are automated. Okay, so we're really kind of part of it. We kind of live in this virtual world, this AI controlled world. We do. But yeah, that's it. And I am going to go. I'm going to go, and thank you for your comments. I didn't look at a single one. I didn't. But yeah, share your thoughts on that, you all. Share your thoughts. It's something to ponder. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for coming on here. And I'll see you later.